Good morning, students. This is Class 10 Science, Lesson 6, Life Processes. In continuation with our last class where we have studied till digestion in stomach, we'll continue. We'll study now digestion in intestine. From the stomach, food enters. From the stomach, food enters small intestine. Small intestine, this is the longest part of the alimentary canal which lies extensively in the abdomen. Small intestine, the name is small intestine, but it is the largest part of the, see, this is small intestine, highly coiled structure, extensively coiled, lies in the abdomen. Its length is longer in herbivorous animal. Its length is longer in herbivorous animal as compared to carnivores, as herbivorous animal has a larger bulk. The food which they eat is of large bulk and the cellulose of the diet requires longer time for digestion. Small intestine is comparatively shorter in carnivore animals like lion, as their diet of meat has small bulk and is easily digestible. We can say herbivores have a larger long intestine because they contain plant material which contains cellulose, and cellulose needs a larger time for digestion, whereas carnivores eat flesh, bulk is also less and flesh is easily digestible. In human beings, small intestine is about 6 meters in length. Means our small intestine is 6 meters in length. The intestine, small intestine, or we can say the intestinal wall contain, see, this is the inner side of small intestine. Intestinal wall has numerous finger-like projections. These are finger-like projections, and this is the cross section, has numerous finger-like projections known as villi. We see these are on the inner side. Outer side it's like pipe, but inner side it has this finger-like projections known as villi. And what is the function of villi? They are richly supplied with blood vessels. You can see they are richly supplied with blood vessels and they increase the surface area of intestine several times for rapid absorption of digested food. As you all know that small intestine is the site of complete digestion. It is the site of complete digestion and absorption of food. The food gets digested over here, but it is absorbed also. And these villi helps in the absorption, rapid absorption of food. These villi have a rich supply of blood vessels. You can see over here. So we can say villi are finger-like projections richly supplied with blood vessels which increase the surface area of small intestine and thereby helping in rapid absorption of digested food. Then these two, liver and pancreas. Small intestine gets the secretion of liver and pancreas. You can see over here in the diagram, see. This is liver, and this is pancreas. They pour their secretion into the small intestine. Now, what does liver pour? Liver is the largest gland in the body. In our body, liver is the largest gland and it is located on the right side of the upper abdomen. I have shown you in the diagram also. It is the largest organ. It is situated on the right side of the upper abdomen. It is reddish brown in color and secretes bile juice. What does it secrete? It secretes bile juice which helps in the digestion of fat. It secretes bile juice which helps in the digestion of fat. The bile juice is stored in a sac located near the liver called the gallbladder. See, this is the sac where bile juice is secreted, and this sac is known as gallbladder. Whenever the food enters the small intestine, the gallbladder releases bile into it through the bile duct. when the food enters from stomach into the small intestine, this gallbladder releases bile through bile duct. Bile juice contain bile pigments and bile salts. Bile juice contain bile pigments and bile salts. You can see liver, gallbladder, which is secreting bile through bile duct into the small intestine. Now, what is the function of this bile juice? What is the function of this bile? As you know, bile juice contain pigments, bile pigments and bile salts, and their function is emulsification of fat. What is emulsification of fat? Bile salts break down larger fat globules into smaller globules to make their digestion easier. Bile salts break larger fat globules into smaller globules to make their digestion easier. This is termed as emulsification of fat. The other function is bile salts make the medium alkaline. It makes the medium alkaline in the intestine and helps the intestinal enzymes to digest the food. As you know, food which is coming from the stomach is acidic in nature. Food which is coming from the stomach is acidic in nature. Now this bile juice is making the medium alkaline. Why it is making the medium alkaline? Because pancreatic enzymes act only in alkaline medium. Then you should know two functions of bile. The first is emulsification of fat and the second is to make the medium alkaline for the necessary enzymes to function. Bile pigments formed by the breakdown of hemoglobin are waste and provide color to the feces. Now the other gland, see, small intestine receives secretion from liver, bile juice. Function is large fat globules emulsification into small fat globules and making the medium alkaline. Then pancreas. Over here again, switch over to the diagram. See pancreas, this is the pancreas. Pancreas is a large cream-colored gland situated just below the stomach. It secretes pancreatic juice, which contain the digestive enzymes. I'll tell you. Pancreas. Yes, pancreas secretes pancreatic juice, which contains enzyme trypsin. See, enzyme trypsin. Trypsin breaks down proteins to peptones. Trypsin is breaking proteins to peptones. Then lipase. Lipase is converting fats into glycerol. Lipase acts on emulsified fats and converts them into fatty acids and glycerol. And pancreatic amylase also. It also secretes pancreatic amylase, which helps in the complete breakdown of carbohydrates into simple sugar. Now, complete digestion and absorption of food has taken place. Bile and pancreatic juice go to the duodenum through a hepatopancreatic duct. Bile breaks down fat into smaller particles. This process is known as emulsification of fat. After that, the enzyme lipase digests fat into fatty acids and glycerol. Trypsin digests proteins into amino acids. Complex carbohydrates are digested into glucose. Major part of digestion takes place in the duodenum. Now comes the large intestine. This complete digested food is absorbed with the help of villi. Now, large intestine. The name is large intestine, but it is small. See, this is the large intestine. This is the large intestine, which is opening into rectum. Large intestine is smaller than small intestine. Undigested food goes into the large intestine. Some water and salts are absorbed by the walls of large intestine. After that, the undigested food goes to the rectum, from where it is expelled out through the anus. Large intestine absorbs excess of water. The rest of the material is removed from the body via anus. So, I'll explain it again. Large intestine is approximately the length of small intestine is 6 meters. Length of largest intestine is 1.5 meter. It does not secrete any digestive enzyme. No digestion takes place. The walls of the large intestine absorb water and necessary salts from the undigested food. The rest of the semi-solid food is expelled from the body through the anus, and this process is known as egestion. This process is known as egestion. Now, the important things you have to learn in this is about the size of the intestine, why it is longer in herbivores and smaller in carnivores, what is the length in human beings. The next question is, the important question is function of bile. What are the two main important function of bile? Then function of villi. What is the function of villi? Then function of HCl, and all the necessary enzymes. You have to study all the necessary enzymes. All the function of all these necessary enzymes is mentioned in this video, but you should know protein is broken down into peptones with the help of trypsin, fat into fatty acids and glycerol, starch into maltose. Complete digestion takes place in small intestine, and undigested food or waste food is thrown out of the body through anus, and the process is known as egestion. So this was a complete description about, along with diagrams, it was a complete description about digestion in humans. I hope you have understood. We'll continue in the next class. Thank you and have a nice day.